tuned in to Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News Radio, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Audible, iTunes, TuneIn, TV Live, Rumble, and more. I'm Dr. Marissa, you know me as the Asian Oprah, and I'm on location at Secret Knox, and I am bringing you some really interesting people. And I have two of them right here. I got to hear the gentleman to my left go on stage this week, and I thought, he looks really familiar. I was just coming back from another interview. Why does he look so familiar? And then he said something about Judge Judy, and I went, oh, that's who he is. He's the guy that keeps Judge Judy in line. So I thought I would bring them to the show and his beautiful wife, that they have things going on that I'm gonna let you know. So, without further ado, I don't have an answering machine. I have a questioning machine. And when you call me, it says, who are you and what do you want? So, who are you and what do you want?
Well, I'm Petrie Hawkins Byrd from Judge Judy. That's what I did for 25 years. This is my beautiful wife, Marissa Byrd. And she also worked for Judge Judy as a producer. So that's who we are. What do we want? We want a better life for everybody in the world. We want world peace, and we want it now. And we'll kill for it.
You'll go to war for it.
We'll go to war for it, right?
Let's see her version.
Okay, so my name is Marissa Byrd, and I am a producer. I worked on the Judge Judy show for about 6 years. Yeah, and that's how we met.
Oh, yeah. That was the other question. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can make this. I want to make it. Nope, it's not gonna do it. All right, so we'll go back.
I don't think it does that.
No, on that one.
Coming this way.
Yeah. So. It's a story I want to hear. So I thought maybe you got the job first and then she came along and was the producer. So I want to hear.
Well, that sort of worked out. That's exactly the way it worked out.
I was only on the show for 6 years.
Yeah. I was on there 19 years before she happened to show up on the scene.
Wow.
And I looked and I said, the Lord is my shepherd, I see what I want.
That is hilarious. So you go on the job. Did you know why you were single?
No. As a matter of fact, I met him in 2012. We were both in separate relationships. We weren't single.
Okay.
And I was working on
the same lot.
So I worked for a different show, and he worked for Judge Judy. And I saw him on the lot in his uniform, and I was like, "Oh my God, my mom loves you!" And I took a picture. Yeah. And
kid, tell your mom I said hi.
and then we went to a comedy show as friends, and we didn't hear anything back from each other. We went our separate ways. So I went on to working on other shows.
You didn't make the move on her at the comedy show?
No. Well, here's the
like
thing.
that.
At the time I was married, and I merely, I would go over to her show that she was working on, and I would take advantage of the green room, go and eat the goodies and stuff like that, and watch the show,
amazing.
And watch their show, and she would come over, and watch our show. Well, it was like, hey, I got an extra ticket to this comedy show. Why don't you meet me over there? And so it was like it was that type of vibe back then, so quickly fade out. We didn't see each other or talk to each other for the next 4 years.
Yeah.
And then one day I come to work and she walks by me and she's really tall. And she had on her heels, so now she was my height, she was my eye level.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'3".
Okay.
And so, to see a woman walking by like eye level with you is like, oh, and she's gorgeous.
The Lord is my shepherd.
And then the Lord is my shepherd, I saw what I want. And I asked one of the PAs, I said, who is that? And he said, that's Makita. And I went, oh, wow. I said, okay, so we started talking, and she's 27 years my junior, so I was trying to discourage that relationship a little, you know. But she's nothing if not persistent, and that's right. When people ask me, they say, "Hey man, how'd you land that beautiful woman?" I go, you know, I just slowed down and let her catch me. I was hobbling at the time, you know. I'm an old man, so yeah. And our relationship started to blossom after that, you know, and
That's beautiful.
we got married 3 years later. Yeah.
3 years later. And how long have you been married now?
3 years coming up this month. Yeah, coming.
No, coming up on 4 years. We
Uh-oh.
got married in 29.
Your hand.
In 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. Next week it'll be our anniversary.
Just in case you forgot.
This to show you the mathematics here. I don't think you count the 19, you know.
Well, we technically got married
We're gonna have to
on
take
your
this
birthday.
to Judge Judy.
The Lord is her shepherd; she counts what she wants. So you know, listen. I tell you what. If it's 4 years, great. That's just one more year that I've had to be with this person. This is my hero.
So beautiful. That's so beautiful. Now, how did you first get the job on Judge Judy?
Wow. Okay. So real quick, Reader's Digest. I used to be a court officer in New York back in the 80s and 90s. You people remember those. And
With a typing thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I left New York in 1990, moved out to California, left law enforcement, and became a high school counselor. While in my capacity as a high school counselor, happened to take a break one day and read the paper. You guys know what a newspaper is, and it's a stone tablet that Moses used.
It came down from the mountain.
And so I was reading the paper, and I was reading Liz Smith's gossip column, and in it I noticed a name that I knew, Judge Judy Shineland, and it said that she had written a book and that they were developing a TV show for her. I got excited, wrote a letter to her. Hey, congratulations! I wish you well. P.S. If you ever need a bailiff, I still look good in uniform. That little joke turned into 25 years on TV. She called me.
She remembered you.
Oh yeah. Because
Okay.
I was the crazy officer. I mean, it doesn't look like it on 25 years of Judge Judy, but I'm a pretty funny guy.
Oh yeah, totally.
When I want to be, you know.
Yeah.
And so that's how it all started. Sight unseen, she recommended me for the job, and they flew me down.
Have you acted before?
I had done off Broadway, way off Broadway, like
Right.
in New Jersey, and
That's way off.
That's overstate
line.
when you have to go across,
Overstate
bridges, when you have to take ferries to get to your job.
Yeah.
That's off Broadway.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'd done that. I had done stand-up comedy in New York,
okay.
and
So well, you were prepared for this job.
I was ready. I was ready for it. So when the door opened up, I stepped through it gladly.
Wonderful, and it's so funny watching the two of you interact on the show. It's just as funny as the cases, because yesterday when you were on stage, and I said my question from the audience was, does she ever bark at you?
Yeah.
And the answer was,
yeah, she barks at everybody. She barks at everybody, but I don't get scared. I give scared. So it's like, all right, go ahead. You yelp all you want to. You understand? Long as my check clears, we're good. Because the thing I would tell her is, I go, keep in mind that I'm the only thing standing between you and them. Okay, so you might not want to be too snippy with me.
can you say if there was ever a show where you had to snip out stuff because it was like she lost it, or something did happen bad?
Most of the case that people see is exactly what it is. When she gets into somebody's behind about something, that's just the way it is, and that's what America loved, and the world loved about her, is that she didn't cut any corners, So editing that show was relatively easy. I knew the editors on there, and they were like, "Yo, if it's a 5-minute case, that's how long she took to do it, 5 minutes, and pretty much everything that was said in that courtroom, the rest of the world got it.
Off camera, is she the same? You called her a bulldog with a lace collar or something like that? I thought that was a good.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I thought that was a good analogy. No. What in the words of Flip Wilson, what you see is what you get.
Got it. Well, that's a wonderful backdrop and history and context building for the show. And you guys are actually doing something now together on a show.
Yes.
And that's one of the things I wanted to do for you is have you promote and gather and tell us what you're doing.
Go on, baby. Tell me about it.
So we actually started this during the pandemic. We were quarantined in the house, and we were having so much fun talking to each other, laughing, and then we got to take our show. Well, it wasn't a show at the time. We just wanted to talk to other people. So we got on Instagram Live, and we were just talking to other people, and then it became popular. And it, my last name was Byrd.
Your last name.
My last name was Bond. My maiden last name was Bond, and his is Byrd. So bonding with Byrd. Okay. So that's the title of our show, WBW, and we do it every Tuesday night, and then we actually crossed over to YouTube. So yeah, so Facebook, YouTube, you can get Bonding with Byrd on at what is it? We just did it yesterday. What was yesterday? Tuesday?
Yesterday was Tuesday, yeah.
It comes on every Tuesday at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
6 o'clock.
9 Eastern for you people back.
That's right.
Which is where a lot of our family and friends are from.
Oh, that's wonderful. And what do you guys talk about?
Oh my gosh.
Well, we
always
generally
talk about
start with hot topics, what's going on, and we relatively try to keep it light, we're not
politics.
Yeah, we're not there to bring the news. We know that Russia invaded the Ukraine and everything like that, and everybody else does, but that's for CNN to do. We're like we want to talk about Kanye and his latest antics. So we do hot topics, things that we find interesting that that people might want to just chat about around the water cooler if that's still something that happens.
Yeah,
and
millennials look that up.
and then we have different segments. So we have a segment that I created so we call Tinking Tuesday. You have Man Crush Monday, Throwback Thursday, Freaky Friday, or whatever. So I said, well, wait a minute, there's got to be something for Tuesday. And so the West Indian in me, so it said Tinking Tuesday. Yeah, you got to tink, man. You got to tink on Tuesday. And so we just talk about whatever thing happens to come to mind. What was it yesterday?
The mask mandate is over. So.
Yeah. So Tinking Tuesday yesterday was, the mask mandate. They said it's going to be over April 18th. Let me ask you something. Does COVID know that it's supposed to leave town on April 18th? Did anybody tell COVID? Because otherwise, you're telling me that 3 days after tax day, COVID has to leave town. But nobody told COVID. Tinking Tuesday. You got to tink, man.
Now, did you grow up with that accent?
I did not. I'm from Brooklyn, where there are more Jamaicans than in Jamaica.
Okay. I've been
So
told that I'm like a Jamaican because I have so many jobs.
so many jobs. There you go. That's right. You got 15 job, man.
Yeah.
Well, And so we do that. We what's the other thing? We interview guests, which we have some very interesting guests. Over the years, I've developed a lot of friendship I've developed friendships with a lot of people in the industry, and those people are very giving. When I call them, I'm like, hey man, some of these are Oscar winners, famous singers. Yesterday we interviewed Dr. Zarif. Yeah, Dr. Zarif, and he talked about nutrition, and that was a great interview. We had a wonderful time with him, and so we'll have like a 15 to 20 minute interview, and then we talk about keeping it reality. So we like our guilty pleasure is some of the other reality shows, reality, and so we kind of chop it up and give our viewers an insight into what we're watching when we have downtime,
right.
and so that's pretty much our show.
So the funny thing is, and I'll take this back for just a second. The funny thing is, my show opening that I didn't do here is no gossip, no scandal, and no K words. No Kanye talk, no Kardashian talk, because I want you to focus on your own reality show and be happy 88% of the time. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
The irony when you said that, because that's how I normally open, and I didn't open like that. Crazy. So your show is the antithesis.
Yeah.
So if you want the K talk,
That's it. That's it.
that.
Well, we don't spend a lot of time on it, believe it or not.
Okay.
But he's
Always in the news. Back
Yeah.
to back. He's
So-
always doing something crazy.
yeah, and the speaker yesterday, I'm not going to mention his name, or the day before, is his life coach. And I'm like, I think you need to.
I know. You're doing such a fine job.
I know,
Right. Should have been with his psychiatrist. But hey, that's just my opinion.
Yeah,
Okay,
my-
it's not
yeah.
law.
Yeah, and everybody has a right to my opinion.
That's right. And if you don't have an opinion, I'll give you mine.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good one too. Now, to close out, do you sing Acapulco?
Yes, I do.
Awesome.
Yes, I do.
Because
I sing in
didn't-
Acapulco as much as I can. The Mexican government insists that I come down and treat them to a
You want
song.
to do a line and treat my listeners to a little bit of a song?
Sure, I'll do that. Looks like nothing's gonna change. Everything still remains the same. I can't do what 10 people tell me to do, so I guess I'll remain the same. Sitting here resting my bones. Loneliness won't leave me alone. 2,000 miles I roam just to make this dock my home. And I'm just sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. I'm just sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time.
Yay! I'm going to put some applause in there. That's wonderful. That's another thing we have in common. I'm a retired lounge lizard.
Oh, you were
Myself.
telling me that,
So
yeah.
we're going to have to go and do karaoke and do a duet.
Oh.
Well, that would be a lot of fun.
That would be great.
Yeah. So the last question I always ask my guests is, to who or what are you most grateful for? To who or what are you most grateful for? I'm going to give this to you first.
Okay. So I'm most grateful for my husband because he has proven himself to be the best caretaker. So I had a challenge. I had cancer. And brain cancer at that. So yeah, so March 8th was when I had my first seizure and only seizure. Found out that I had a tumor. Then I got brain surgery on April 16th. Yes, no, last year. Yeah, and I couldn't drive. I couldn't walk or anything. Yeah, so he's the best caretaker. So I'm grateful for him.
Well, here's the deal. When we first got together, she promised that, she said, if anything ever happens to you, I'll take care of you. I said, you mean take care of me? And she's like, no. I'll change your diaper and all that. And I go, wow, that's the best thought I had. You don't know how sexy that sounds at 60. And she's kept that promise. She's taken care of me. But when this challenge came up, it let me know that that challenges have no age number on them. They just happen. And and so she's my hero. So who I'm grateful to is I'm definitely grateful to God for bringing her into my life, for allowing me the opportunity to look after her and to take care of her. She's my partner, she's my best friend, and I get a chance to wake up every morning next to my hero. This is Wonder Woman. This is Wonder Woman. She looks at me, she goes, I wonder why your shoes are still underneath that bed. I wonder why these dishes aren't done. So she's Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman. Oh, I love that. And the Lord is my shepherd, right?
Yes, that's right.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
Hashtag relationship goals right here. Yay. If I can have that, maybe I'll be open to dating again. You guys are going to have to do the setup. I haven't had a relationship in 5 years.
We're going to wait. We're going to work this out. Listen. This is the matchmaker. From hell. She's not. She ain't scored one. She ain't scored one yet. I'm the quiet one. I sit there and I go, just have them in the same place. They'll work it out.
Give her the mic.
Really? I'm the matchmaker from hell? Really?
Oh my God! Who did she hook me up with? It's like, just run.
Well, I haven't found anyone that treats me as well as I treat myself. So that's the hiccup.
You have high standards.
I do.
That's right. Somebody's got to treat you. They got to treat you as well or better than you treat yourself. Yeah. That's right.
And so it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a card on my birthday that said, "There's only 3 words to describe someone who's as beautiful and smart and talented as you, and who's still single, and those 3 words are picky." I'm like, okay, I think I'll take that as a compliment. Wow. Anyways, I'm so delighted to finally have the time to sit down with you. I hope you had fun. I had a blast. Yes. And the last thing that I do, whenever I do on location or on a show, is a little. Let's see, you hold it.
I'll hold that.
Yeah. You do this, and it's exactly what you said at the beginning of the show. Peace in, peace out.
Peace out.
World peace.
World peace. Okay.
Through inner peace.
Through inner peace.
You don't change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Peace in.
Peace in.
Peace out.
Wait. Peace out.
Wait, start again.
Okay. Peace in.
Peace in. Peace
out.
World peace.
World peace.
Through
inner peace.
Inner peace.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm all about world peace too.
That's right. That's right.
So we have a lot in common. Thank you so much.
Well, Confucius say, "Man who make love on ground have peace on earth." So.
Bye, guys.
I can't help it.
He who sleeps with cookie under pillow has crummy dream.
Oh.
He started it.
Okay.
This is Dr. Marissa reporting live from my on-location room virtual studio with the fabulous couple. You'll have to join them on their broadcast, Bonding with Byrd, Tuesdays at night on YouTube and Instagram now too. Yes?
Oh, yes.
Yes. So go check them out. Thank you so much for listening in. Remember, we did the balance part, peace in, peace out. So go forth and multiply the piece that you are. And don't say anything about being a piece of. I heard him say it in my ear. And don't forget, have the best day ever. See you tomorrow.